Hello beauties, how are you all doing? Shaz here with another palette review, and today we're going to review What's Your Power from GlossGods. This is the inside of the palette. We are going to do 2 eye looks and swatches, and I'm also going to tell you my thoughts about this palette. These are going to be first impressions. If that sounds good to you, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed already. Let's go into the video. Okay beauties, a little bit about GlossGods is that it's a Swedish indie brand. I have quite a few of their palettes reviewed on my channel. I'll put the playlist in the description box below if you're curious. This is how the palette came. It came in this sleeve and then you can open it. It had one of these things for protecting the contents, and it has a mirror on this side, which is very nice if you want to travel. A lot of past GlossGods palettes were all shimmers, so I believe this might have been one of their first 12 pans that had matte colors as well. And most of their shimmers in the past have also been like multichromy, duochromy type of shimmers. Very nice shimmer formulation. I am generally a fan of GlossGods, otherwise I wouldn't buy the palette to review it. And yes, I've purchased all of these with my own money. Let's talk about the outside. It has, of course, What's Your Power, the name of the palette on it, the fact that it's from GlossGods. It says it's remixed. I don't know what that exactly means. And then on the back, you're going to see the branding, the name of the palette, the fact that it's a 12 pan and some ingredients listed. It was made in China. If you care about that, it's vegan, cruelty free. It has 24 months of shelf life, and it is recyclable. One thing I don't like about GlossGods palettes, and some of their palettes have this problem, is that it does not have a waxy cover. And when you have very colorful pans inside, that runs the risk of colors staining the body of the palette. Another thing that I have experienced with past GlossGods palettes, which I did not see with this palette, is oil seeping into the pan, and I'm not seeing that, which is amazing. Usually if that exists, you see it next to creamy or shimmery shades. One issue that I'm gonna have with this palette just by looking at it, and which was part of the reason I didn't buy this palette at launch, and I was sort of contemplating if I even want to buy this palette, if you watch my to buy or not to buys, is that it is very light toned. Obviously, I probably don't even need to explain too much because you can see that it's very light toned. It does not have a lot of depth. And I believe the reason for that is that GlossGods, as I mentioned, is a Swedish brand, and majority of Swedish people's demographic are very light featured and light toned in their skin. So these colors probably show up differently on them, and this might be already very dark and very pigmented for them. The issue though is for someone like me, these colors on my skin tone in contrast with my eyebrows and my hair color, a lot of pastel colors don't even show up. Another thing is that my personal interest in making eye looks is to be able to make some level of gradation on the color. That's the type of look that I usually go for, where you have dark to light in some way, and you can't make those kinds of eye looks with this palette just because there are not a lot of deep tones, but you can make a lot of very colorful, fun, and summery types of looks, like the look that I'm wearing. So if this is your type of aesthetic, this would be a great palette for you. And I'm actually excited about the challenge of being able to sort of make more of those kinds of looks with this palette. Let's now take a look at the swatches of this palette. As always, swatches are done on bare skin with no primer. So let's jump in. I'm gonna use this Cosmic Brushes brush. It's a beautiful brush. I love these, and I believe they still have all of these. They have them in black and I think gold and other colors. Let's go into the purple. Let's try to do sort of a lavender type of look, and this is gonna go in my crease. I'm already feeling like there's a little bit of powder going everywhere, but the pigmentation, very nice. Let's keep with Cosmic Brushes. I'm now going to pick a packing brush again of the same collection. Let's now go into the pink. I'm going to, for this eye look, keep it to the bottom row. And I'm going to just bring this across my lid. Again, amazing pigmentation. I'm going to pick the first brush and just blend these two colors into each other. Very, very nice. I mean, it didn't take a whole lot of effort there. And I'm now using the same brush with the pink color on it, and I'm gonna do my lower lash line. The pink is a little thin. I'm sure you can see the thinness. Maybe if you use it over a tackier base, that would help. Generally, that is another issue I have experienced with these very bright, very pastel-y, neon-y type of colors. It might just be the nature of the color. It also depends on the base, how much it sticks on the base. So there is a whole lot of different factors. I'm gonna go back into the pan and use this beautiful color Valuable. This is one of those like reds to pinks that is just absolutely gorgeous. And Beauties, I have older palettes from GlossGods. In fact, I have review of a few of them in this channel. I'll put my GlossGods playlist in the description box below if you're curious to check out other videos with swatches and everything. And I can vouch for the fact that GlossGods quality, particularly the smoothness and creaminess of their multichromes and shimmers, has improved and has gotten so much better. The old ones were good too. They were not amazing, but now they're really, really nice. And I'm putting this color at the center here. There's a shift of gold with this color, which is just so amazing. And of course, doing it with this one as well. I'm now going to use the brush that had the pink color on it, and I'm just going to make sure the edge of this color is blended into the matte colors. Another option you have if you're making this eye look and don't want it to be so pink is that you can use this purple. These shimmers look amazing. They might not show in the video, unfortunately, but this one reminds me, this one's called Brilliant, the purple one, and it reminds me of Ceres from Terra Moons. It has, I mean, you saw the swatches. It has a very interesting like pink and light gold, a little bit of a blue shift. It's just so beautiful. And it's really the shimmers that make these palettes worth for me, because I'm still not very much used to the matte colors. Last year they would do all shimmer palettes, so I'm more used to the shimmers. Although I feel like the look is sort of complete as is, but because I want to try as many colors as I can in this palette, I'm going to take it a step further. I'm using this brush that's a small-headed brush from the same collection. Again, it has the very cute glittery thing inside. And I'm going to go into Ambitious, which is this red neon-y color. Not exactly neon, but kind of more pastel-y, but let's go into that color. And I think you all know this is going to go into my inner corner. Now this color is sort of a light pastel color, and I'm actually liking that, because if it was neon, maybe it would be a little too much. I like that it's just very tiny bit of lightness in my inner corner. And this might not be the best brush for this, but I could not find a more compact brush than this. And I wanted to use the same collection. I didn't want to use another brush from a different collection. Okay, Beauties, I'm back. I put this ColourPop Ultra Blotted Lip in the color Kitten on my lips. It's sort of pinky, so I figured it goes with the pink and the purple. They're both cool toned. Also, something that I don't always do, I put some blush on my cheeks, and this is the blush that I use. This is Duchess from the Venetian Romance collection. This is a creamy blush that I purchased from Miss A store. I went to a Miss A store in Austin. If you don't know, Miss A is a brand where everything is $1 almost, and I believe it's unique to Texas. I went to one in Austin and I purchased a few things. I did a video about it, and I'll tag that video also in the description box below. You can shop online from their stores if you're not in Austin, just FYI. And this creamy blush I kind of like. Let me quickly show you the color. This is sort of a dusty mauve dark color, but it looks very nice, and I figured this goes with the rest of the look, as well as the colors kind of go together. Okay, Beauties, let me now bring the camera closer and show you the eye look from close up. Okay, Beauties, I'm back for the second eye look. I already primed my eyes with I Prime in shade number 1 from Juvia's Place. And that is why I'm probably a little bit of a reverse raccoon, because this color is a little light for me. But shade number 2 that I also use sometimes is a little too yellow for me. It's a little darker than my skin tone. I'm gonna begin with using some of the brushes from this same Cosmic Brushes series, and then if I need a brush that I have already used up or wasn't available in this series, I'll try to complement it with something else. I'm gonna get started with this super puffy round-headed brush, and I'm gonna go into this beautiful light blue color called Courageous. I don't know if y'all notice, beauties, but it says what's your power, and the name of the colors are actually different powers that you can have. And I just realized that. I've had this palette for a while and I did not notice that. Of course, this is the first time I'm using it, but I did not know that. And I think that's kind of a cute concept. I'm just putting this blue color in my crease. I'm gonna go into this color, which is a beautiful blue to green. Let me see if I can show the blue shift. It's a beautiful, beautiful blue. And beauties, that color is actually going to go in my outer V area. Let me try first with a brush. Now, I'm not a person who uses brush on creams because I just don't have the best of track record with that, but let's do it with this one. I still feel like this would have behaved much better on my skin, so let me do that. I'm just going to use my smallest finger to just use this. This is a beautiful, beautiful color. GlossGods, if you're watching this video, one thing I beg of you, make these magnetic. Okay, beauties, now I want to use this purple color. Now I think the purple color looks both in the video, I'm looking at the viewfinder. If I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I'm looking at the viewfinder. That purple color does not look the color that it is. And in fact, even when I look at it, I don't see it the color that it is. And the reason I know it's a different color is because I swatched it. And in reality, it's a lot lighter than what you see in the pan. Can you see the difference? It's kind of a white with a lavender hue. And beauties, this reminds me of Ceres from Terra Moons, which is a favorite color. And I'm gonna put this color in this area on the inner 1/3 of my lid. Now, you all could use NYX's glitter primer. I kind of forgot to do that because I was just like, I want to do this, I want to put this on my lid. But with the other eye, I'm going to use NYX and we can sort of compare. I could have even used NYX under this color. It didn't occur to me, but you know, it is a shimmer color, so those glitter primers definitely work with these creamy colors to make sure they don't budge on your eyes, particularly if you have hooded lids like myself. Let's put a little bit of this as promised over here. And that is the color. And going back over it. Okay, with my finger, I'm just diffusing these two colors into each other. Now I'm going to use this flat-headed brush and I'm going to go into this color Inspiring. And this color is going on my lower lash line. Now, I feel that this brush is a little soft for picking up shimmer. So let me use this brush. This is a Morphe M210. I'm going to go back into the same color Inspiring. And friends, for the final touch, I'm going to go into this beautiful pastel green called Bold. You know where I'm going. I'm going to put this color in my inner corner. I'm just lightening up the eye look. I'm going to blend it a little bit into these other colors. Now, because I am a person of color, and for the same reason that pastels wash me out, I can do this with pastels. I don't know if this would work on everybody. If a pastel color looks like it's darker than your skin tone, if you do this, it's going to look ridiculous, because the whole purpose of this is for it to open up your eye. So you want to use a color that is going to add light on your inner corner. Okay, beauties, I went ahead and put some of this ultra matte lip color in color Tulum from ColourPop on my lips. Let's talk a little bit about this palette. First of all, I love the name, I love the concept, the fact that this is sort of asking about your powers and the colors are the different powers that you can have. That's sort of cute. It's very, I want to say, youth appealing, you know, having summery colors, having very colorful shades inside. Another thing is that you could call this palette a rainbow palette because it kind of has the colors of the rainbow, but the truth is, amazingly, it does not look like a rainbow palette at first sight. Frankly, you have to think a little hard about it, you know, the fact that it's a rainbow. I think part of the reason for that is the nice multichrome shades that are in it. In terms of packaging, the only complaint I have is the fact that it does not have the waxy cover that I mentioned, because it could easily get stained. I found the quality of the pastel colors pretty nice. They blended really well. They showed up on my skin. You already know the challenges I have with pastels. However, I love GlossGods for its shimmers and the multichromy shimmers, and they did not disappoint in this palette. I didn't use every single shimmer in this palette. I don't think I used this orange one and that green one. All the other ones that I used, super creamy, beautiful, very multichromy, very shifty. Now that we're talking about the shimmers, I have to say that this palette is amazing for the price. Quality of the shimmers in this palette are so good, and frankly, you can easily buy singles of the same type of shimmer from other indie brands in the US for $15, $16, $17, while this whole palette was something around 40 bucks. And in fact, you can always use someone's code, you can pick it up at a discount and all of those things to get it at a much cheaper rate. And beauties, I wore the first eye look that I made, and I got a lot of compliments on it. You know, when people give you compliments about an eye look, you know you're doing something right. So GlossGods, you're doing something right. Another thing I liked about this palette is that it actually made me have to think a little bit because it didn't have those dark colors that I mentioned. So it kind of challenged me on what kind of eye looks I could make with these colors. For example, the fact that I actually put a multichrome in my outer V, that is not something I'm very prone to doing because I like to put the multichromes across the lid, but I feel like this actually looks pretty nice in that sense. And in fact, I'm using two multichromes across my lid, and I'm kind of liking that. So I'm being challenged for using this palette by itself as a cohesive palette, and I'm liking that. Would I buy it again? Realistically, if I didn't have it, I think the issue would be that I wouldn't know how much I would like these shimmers. I think part of what is appealing to me is that now that I've used the shimmers, I know that I'm really enjoying that color, or that I'm really enjoying the color that I wore across my lid, or the pink color that I used in the first eye look. So if I want to be super honest, I don't think I would pick this palette up again, just like the fact that I passed on this palette when it came out, and I only bought it when I purchased the Sky 2 collection because I thought, you know, I'm already paying a ridiculous amount for shipment, so I might as well buy this palette as well. So I can't say that this palette is a palette that when I saw it the first time, I thought I have to have it. Okay, beauties, I hope you enjoyed this video. Write to me in the comments below what your thoughts are on GlossGods. Have you used any of their palettes? Have you used this palette? Maybe you have different opinions about this brand or this palette. I would love to hear from you. We don't have to agree on everything. Thanks again, beauties. I hope you're having an amazing day. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed already. I love you all. Have an amazing day, and until next time. Bye.